Good afternoon. I'm tired. I didn't get to do any recordings today, so I'm gonna just go over my trade and what I did today. I know I said I wasn't gonna trade for the rest of the week on Wednesday, but I ended up trading Thursday, yesterday, and today. Traded today while I was at work. I saw the setup and I took it. So basically, what I was looking at the dial, I was thinking the dial was gonna continue lower because of this breaker setup right here. And we're coming from the weekly or the monthly fair value gap right here. So based off this monthly fair value gap, I thought we was gonna actually, continue to move lower for the rest of the day on the dial. Um, then we got this breaker set up on a daily chart. Then we came from this 12-hour fair value gap right here. So whole time I'm thinking we're just gonna drop, right? Um, but no, we didn't. We dropped early in the morning. Too early for me to, even catch that. That was too early. I don't trade till after 6 a.m. After that 4-hour candle open, that new 4-hour candle at 6 a.m. Um, so basically, what I did today was I actually entered in on a short on this order block right here. Once we got to this order block, I entered in on a short, thinking we were going to reject like a supply and demand setup, right? Um, Thinking that we already missed the entry to get short off of the wick. We already missed the wick entry to get short right here, and we're just gonna fall for the rest of the day. Is what I'm thinking, right? This is the wick entry, 4 a.m. 4 a.m. comes, tests the wick, 1 hour wick, test again, and drops. So I'm thinking, okay, we missed the wick entry. So if I miss my entry, the next setup is supply and demand, right? And I'm thinking I can get one right here, and I end up getting stopped out. So since I got stopped out right here, I flipped my bias, and I'm thinking, okay, since we're not gonna, continue lower, I'm thinking, all right, we want to get back to a premium, right? At least get back to a premium before we get lower, right? So I threw up the 4-hour premium, the 4-hour fib, and then I played the long side off of a supply and demand setup. But I actually took this trade on the long side on NASDAQ. All right. So after I got stopped out on this trade, I flipped it and went over to NASDAQ. Right. So NASDAQ, same setup. I don't know why I'm showing all of this shit, but NASDAQ, same setup. The short entry right here. Don't mind this. This is like previous days stuff. Um, this this is the premium and discount right here that I was playing off of. And if I want to wait to price get back long, or wait to price to get back into premium to get, to get short, or I want to take the move up. So I'm thinking I'm gonna just take the move up, since that'll probably play out for the rest of the day, and then once it get later in the day, it'll go short, right? Because it was quite a ways up. We had a big drop this morning, so to move up, I already knew it was gonna take all day to get back up there, or at least all morning to get back up there. And mind you, I'm at work, so I'm not trying to be on the charts the whole time, right? So once 8 o'clock came, put in this wick. 9 o'clock came, put in this wick, right? 1 hour. Now I'm waiting on my setup to show up to see if my setup would come. Setup came, boom, tapped it again. First entry. Now I'm just waiting for a takeoff. It took off right here at 9:30 with the 9:30 push. It took off right here. Now since we got the confirmation is the supply demand off of my original entry, which is this. The reason why I didn't take this entry is because I've been losing so much on this entry that I'm beginning to be, scared of my trade, to enter my trade. So I came up with another way to enter into the market. It's basically like a confirmation entry. So once my setup comes, supply and demand, I'm waiting on that supply and demand entry, right? So boom, setup came, took off, confirmation of my setup, right? And once I miss this setup, that's it for the rest of the day. And I don't like that either. The fact that if I don't take this setup, then I'm not trading for the rest of the day. I really don't like that. So I had to figure out another way to get into the market. And these supply demand setups work pretty well with that. Um, so yeah, basically my entry setup right here took off. Now I'm waiting on supply demand to get me in the market. I'm gonna mark this zone out. This is the first demand zone right here. First demand zone right here. We never got back to it. All right, so we're just waiting. Second demand zone right here. Boom, we tap it. We tap it right here. I kind of got in pretty aggressive right here once we took off. Once we took off from this candle right here to make that demand zone, the order block, on them pull back to it, I got in right here. And then we took off. And then we came back down, tested it again. This was another entry right here. I didn't take this entry, but we took off again. And then we came back down. And then I entered again right here. Once we came back down, somewhere up here. Once we were coming back down. And then we took off again, came back down, test the order block again, so demand zone again. And then we took off, took this high. Once we took that high out, I'm already in 15 micros. And that's the 15 micros giving me max profit for the day. And it pushed us back into this premium as well, right? And that was it for my trade. Basically, it was a trade back into premium from this big drop that we had this morning, early in the morning. I'm thinking we're going to go back up to premium. So I took a demand zone. I let my original entry go and then waited for the second entry, the demand zone, to get long. Yeah, that's about it. The trade was pretty good. I don't really like the fact that I am over leveraging, but I think that's because I'm kind of tired of trading this challenge account, and I think it's because the supply and demand entries, they're usually 1-on-1s and 1-to-2s, and I don't really like the 1-on-1s and 1-to-2s. If I was to play the 1-on-1s and 1-to-2s based off my original risk parameters, which is $100, I'll only be making $100, $200, and that doesn't sit well with me. I'm gonna think about my risk parameters to see what I could do to make myself feel better about these supply and demand entries. They are working. I used it today and yesterday. I also used it earlier in the week, and I was taking losses because I was trying to figure out how to do it. I think I figured it out how I could work it in my system so that way I won't, even if I miss my entry, I can still get an entry as long as liquidity isn't taken out before the second setup comes. Then I could take the supply and demand setup. But yeah, my next thing is just to figure out my risk parameters to see how I can overcome the over leveraging. I believe this trade was think I risked like, I don't know, let me see. This is 1.5, $100, right? $100. So if I did 10, 1.5. So 150. 150. If I get 10 of them, yeah, I over leverage like fuck. I think I risked like too much. I don't know. I think I risked too much is what it is. But I'm gonna fix that. That is definitely an issue. The over leveraging. Other than that, I did stick to my plan, a trade plan. I didn't over trade. Only took these 3 trades. It was only a long, and then another long right here, and then you know the dial trade that I took early in the morning. Other than that, that was it. Account currently at 52,000. I think I got 1,000 left. 1,000 left. Let's see. But yeah, this is today's profit. This is Wednesday. Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday. Only took 4 trades today, 6 yesterday. He's doing losing days, and then Monday. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Y'all take care of yourself. I'm tired. I'm about to lay down and call it a day. Just got home from work and the gym. 12-hour shift at work, and right after that, I hit the gym. But yeah, y'all enjoy y'all night. Take care of yourself.